Hello everyone, Soul here. This video will help you get above 3,700 points in your Pro Prime Wars for your scenario rating. Now you can find your scenario rating by pressing escape and then clicking on the scenario phase where it says Manibus and then clicking on scenario honor at the top. Now I have also made a list of items that you would need for Pro Prime Wars. I'll put that list in the description below. You can use it as a checklist to bring the items to your Prime Wars. Now I do want to mention that for every Pro Prime War clear with above 3,700 rating, it will give you 8 points, and this will cap out at 160. So this video is mostly for solo gameplay for those who cannot get 5 reses or don't want to rely on 5 reses. Now if you're wondering what it means, let me explain. Resing someone once will give you 100 points, and if you heal yourself for 5000 HP, you will get an additional 300 points. Now that's a total of 400 points. However, if you res someone 5 times instead of just once, you will get an additional 100 points, which will bring you up to 500 points. And you should be able to get it all before the boss actually appears. Now, so technically you can get exactly 3,700 points in your Pro Prime War with just 5 reses, healing for 5k HP, silver plaque damage, and boss damage. And a tip, to ensure that you get 5,000 HP points, you must have your gears calibrated to max, as it will give you much more HP, which in turn will let your activator heal more. Your activator heals 50% of your HP, which means you want your max HP to be above 10k. Now if you are on Savior or Treacherous build, you will need Sanity gummies to get your sanity back, heal yourself, and then use either large boiled water or Sanity Corrosion capsules to reduce your sanity again. Alright, damage related. So there are 3 types of damage that you need to look out for, which are silver plaque damage, boss damage, and block damage. Now silver plaque damage is the damage your missile does. So when the boss is shielded, breaking that shield is the silver plaque damage. Boss damage is just the damage that you do with your weapon to the boss, and block damage is the damage done by the boss to the structure you place near the boss. There are 3 types of missiles you can use in Pro Prime Wars: red plasma rounds, lunar plasma missiles, and biomass missiles. There's also red antiviral missile, but you should only use it in Apocalypse Manibus. It one-shots elite bosses, which you need to do to break shields on Manibus. Otherwise, it is expensive to make as it takes more resources and it may not be as effective. You can also use a Mr. Wish rocket. You will be able to almost one-shot the silver plaque shield for max point, but I would not recommend it due to the high requirements of mats needed to make it. Now for Pro Prime Wars, I would highly recommend to use Lunar Missiles if you can make it and if you run a low HP build, as you can do up to 156,000 silver break damage per missile, and you just need 2 missiles and you can complete your silver shield damage requirement for the max shield damage to the boss. Another benefit of Lunar Missiles is that it does not expire. If you don't have Lunar Missiles, you can use red plasma. It is better than biomass, but it does expire within 24 hours, so make sure you use or make the amount you need. But it does not do the same amount of damage that Lunar Missiles do. Lastly, biomass, the lowest damage missile. It does its job, but I would not recommend it for pros. It's cheaper to make from the other missiles, but you do end up using more on a single boss, and you might not reach your desired shield damage if other players are also attacking the boss with their missiles. The Ravenous Hunter and the Shadow Hound both have an AoE attack that they do after their health is reduced to 2 bars. To guarantee your block damage points, you need to ensure that the structures you create gets one-shot by those AoE attacks. Now, to get at least 200 points for your defense structures, you will need to build foundations. the best type of foundation would be stone foundations, and it only requires you to have sintered bricks. You can build walls, but they may require additional mats, which we want to avoid because we don't want to carry that much. You need to place at least 2 foundations to complete the minimum amount of block damage of 200 points, but personally I put 4 just in case the boss destroys the others with non-AoE attacks. Place the structures away from the boss at the recommended areas. So the recommended area for White Cliff would be between this tree and the silver pool. If there are less people around, make sure you build some extra foundations around the silver pool area to block off the boss's weaker non-AoE damage, so the foundation away from the boss gets the AoE damage that you need to ensure you get the most points out of your foundations. Alright, and the recommended area for Falcon Perch Frontier would be around the 4 corners of the retainers area. The Shadow Hound tends to do a meteor-like attack after it is lowered to 2 bars of health, and it descends down in either of those 4 corners of the area, as it is RNG where he lands, so placing structures in each 4 corners will guarantee your block damage. Also, try not to build on the silver pool area, as it is not effective to get the block damage. Unfortunately, only Ravenous Hunter and Shadowhound can give you the guaranteed block damage using these methods, but Secret Servitor in Falcon Wing Frontier doesn't have a definitive AoE attack that would give you the guaranteed block damage which you get from the other bosses. You can still build around the silver pool area for the Secret Servitor, and you might get some block damage, but might not get the full block damage points that you need. So remember guys, rest someone if you can, but if you can't or don't want to rely on other people, then your most important points to get will be structure block damage. Build your foundation in the AoE attack areas of the respective bosses, use your missiles or Mr. Wish rocket if needed to get max points on your silver plaque damage, and use your guns to get max total boss damage at 500k. That should get you enough points to reach 3700 points or above in Pro Prime Wars. Comment down below if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer them, and thank you for watching. See you guys next time.